Good morning.
Good morning, Judge. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I think I just broke my MacBook.
Oh no, that's not good.
I just opened it up and then I saw a bunch of purple lines.
Oh,
Oh. I
all
just
right. Mrs. Mann, do we have everybody on to go forward with the Zoom conference? Are we going to have your client on by chance?
my client won't be able to make it. I reached out to Miss Karen yesterday. We had trouble trying to get in contact with the client, but when I actually got in contact with her daughter yesterday, she has an abscess in her mouth, so she can't speak. We filed an affidavit on her behalf to see if we can proceed forward with the affidavit. But if
Okay.
not, then we most likely will have to try to get it reset so that she's able to attend.
Give me just a moment. I'm trying to find the affidavit on our, when did you all file the affidavit, Mrs. Mann?
Yesterday.
Okay, hold on. Hold on one moment. I don't see it in the court's file. Doesn't mean it's not here. Maybe the clerks have not pulled it from their queue, but I'm
Yep.
going to ask them to check the queue and to bring over the affidavit because I want to review it. If we can proceed, then I'd like to go ahead and proceed so that we can get this matter moving.
Yep.
But let me just read what is in the affidavit. So I'm going to put you on mute for a second. And Mrs. Rouse, we won't go on the record until I decide whether or not we're going to go ahead and proceed, okay?
Okay, yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'll put you on mute for a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
So Mrs. Mann, they're checking for me right now. And if it's there, they're going to bring it over to me so I can review it real quick, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And I see there is a proposed default judgment that has been filed. It looks like it was filed on December 8th
Yes,
with the
ma'am.
court. Okay.
And Judge, I'm sorry, I just want to also state that we filed a proposed default judgment order, another one, based off of what was told yesterday that we had to include the amounts that we were asking for. So we did
Okay,
yesterday as well.
okay, so it should be another one other than the one filed on December 8th, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Because the one we filed
Okay,
on the 8th was blank, and then we were told that you would request that numbers be automatically added in there. So we did.
right. Okay, so when they are looking at that affidavit, they'll pull it down if anything else got filed.
Okay, yeah, everything got filed yesterday.
Okay, thank you. No problem. All right, Mrs. Mann, the clerk has brought over the affidavit that you mentioned had gotten filed on yesterday, um, as well as the amended proposed default judgment that has all the amounts that are sworn therein. So let's go ahead and get on the record. Mrs. Rouse, are you ready to take the record?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is case number DC 20-15728, Annie Foster versus Victor Gonzalez. May I have the parties announce on the record at this time? Let me know your name and who you represent.
Mr. Mann, counsel for plaintiff, Miss Annie Foster.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Mann. Mrs. Mann, the court is going to review the default judgment, but at this time, if you would like to put on the record any medical bills and any other damages you might be seeking in the proposed judgment that is before the court, you can do so at this time.
Thank you, Judge. As such, as presented in the proposed order for default judgment, we are seeking damages in result of the medical bills in total of $17,345.96. We are requesting for future medical in the amount of $5,000, as well as $8,000 in pain and mental anguish in the past, $3,000 for future pain and mental anguish, and $4,000 for past and future impairment.
Okay. And give us, Mrs. Mann, give the court an idea as to some of the injuries that your client sustained and what type of pain she might be having in the future and in the past in terms of the physical impairment. I just want to make sure that we have that on the record, even though it's outlined in your affidavit.
Yes, ma'am. So Miss Foster was rear-ended as she was attempting to turn into a parking lot. Due to this accident, she suffered injuries in her neck, her back, and her right hip, as she was stated in her in the original petition and in her doctor's records that she had been leaning left in position to turn. During her treatment that occurred for 1 month, a month and a half, she received x-rays of her spine in her right hip, as well as MRIs of her spine as well. Her C, her L, and her C, her T, and her S spine. They had found several disc protrusions ranging in 2 to 3 millimeter disc protrusions. They found some disc flattenings, and it was remarkable for the right hip, but she had suffered pain as far as being able to walk long distances, being able to sleep comfortably. She had consistent back spasms and consistent pain issues that actually recalled her to go to a pain specialist on 2 separate visits in which they reviewed her and prescribed her medication. Ms. Foster still claims that she still has injuries to her right hip and her lower back. She's described it as excruciating pain coming from the back of her neck down to the bottom of her spine consistently. She still states that she can walk, but can't walk as long as she normally does. She has issue with her right hip consistently with sleeping, that she has to rotate sides, that she's not able to carry a lot of items that she has before due to her injuries. She stated also that she had none of these injuries prior to the date of her accident. Her mental anguish as well has been being able to, have to go through those medical treatments for the 1.5 months that she went through, the injuries that she had to sustain, the pain, the spasms, her future impairment, as well as being able to walk those consistently long distances, being able to do the activities that she did prior to that, and the past mental pain and future mental pain and anguish and future medical bills are outlined in the medical records provided, that the chiropractor stated that she may consist of any type of future treatment between 2,000 and 2,500, and that's just for the chiropractor treatment alone.
All right. Okay. The court will take notice of the affidavit that is on file of Mrs. Annie Grace Foster, which outlines her injuries and also any future damages that she may suffer. The court has signed the proposed default judgment. I'm going to be taking it to the clerk's office when I conclude my hearings this morning. It should be available for you to view either by the close of business today, Mrs. Mann, or first thing in the morning.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything further from the plaintiff?
No, ma'am, there's not.
All right. Then that concludes our hearing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You guys have a great
All
rest
right.
of your
You too. Take care. Bye-bye.